It's something that I start my day with. It's something that I end my day with. It's the thing that I spend most of my time on.
Mr. Attorney General.
For Attorney General Eric Holder, it's not just ceremonies like this one.
Today, as we read the names of these fallen heroes,
honoring law enforcement officials who died on September 11th. Every day for him is a reminder of terrorist threats. So this is where you meet with your staff, and what else here?
We have a meeting every morning at...
But outside the confines of the Justice Department, Holder has been subject to criticism for his handling of trials of accused terrorists.
I believe this decision is dangerous. I believe it's misguided.
I think you've made a fundamental mistake here.
Especially for the decision he announced and then had to retract after it provoked an outcry that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 other alleged September 11th plotters would be tried in New York City.
I'm not scared of what Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has to say at trial.
The trial date and place are now in limbo. And with controversies over everything from his pushing to quickly close the U.S. prison at Guantanamo to his very public condemnation of the new Arizona law that cracks down on undocumented immigrants, even some Holder fans are saying, he's honest, he's smart, but sometimes he can be a little tone deaf about how things play out in public.
No, I'm not tone deaf, but I understand what the nature of being Attorney General is. I don't have the same latitude that other politicians might have to put my finger up to the wind and figure out what's going to be popular.
Does the
So it's not tone deafness. It's a commitment to justice and a commitment to the law. It is not tone deafness.
That got you.
Yeah, it does. Because I think that is a criticism that is fundamentally unfair and is political in nature. We want to make sure that this Department of Justice is true to its great traditions.
In fact, ignoring political pressure is Holder's constant message as he talks to Justice Department lawyers in places like Mobile, Alabama.
The only thing that I want you to do is to make sure that you do justice. How are you?
At 59, Eric Himpton Holder Jr. is the first U.S. Attorney General to spend most of his career at the Justice Department, starting just out of Columbia Law School.
I mean, this Department of Justice formed me as a lawyer.
You solemnly swear. You solemnly swear.
And when he took office last February, he got a hero's welcome. It was in part, he believes, a reaction to cronyism and questionable policies advocated in the Bush-era Justice Department.
Waterboarding, things like that, from my perspective, inconsistent with the great traditions of this department. And when I say traditions, I really want to stress under Republican as well as Democratic attorneys general. Let's go look.
May we go see?
Let's go look.
So in Holder's personal office,
as you can see, it's not very large.
There's a portrait of Attorney General Janet Reno, the Democrat for whom he served as deputy.
He is the ultimate symbol of independence.
But in his conference room, Holder has a portrait of Republican Elliot Richardson, fired by President Nixon when he refused to stop the Watergate investigation.
There are times when you have to do what Elliot Richardson did, which is to simply say no and resign.
Though he was a key advisor to the Obama campaign and considers the president a friend, Holder says he now keeps it purely professional. Do you and the president ever get into it?
Without characterizing what they are, I will say we have heated conversations.
The Honorable Eric Holder.
Holder says the person who keeps him on an even keel is his wife, Dr. Sharon Malone, an OB/GYN. And he cheerfully admits that she made a lot more money than he did for many years.
You know, I'm a 21st century guy, secure in who I am, and so I was more than happy to have these great government jobs while she was bringing in all the money that she made and was giving birth to 3 children.
Holder says his sense of what is right comes from his parents, immigrants from Barbados. You have said that your father faced discrimination. How so?
While he was in the service, in the South and in Oklahoma, he was refused service at a couple of places where he was in uniform and was told that African Americans, blacks, Negroes were not served. And in spite of that, I have never known a man who loved this country more than my father did.
Thank you.
Holder raised a lot of eyebrows with his own comments on race last year.
In things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
But he says he stands by those remarks.
I mean, that comment was really urging people to get out of what I call the safety of their cocoons.
Because you're the first African American Attorney General, do you put any extra pressure on yourself?
Yeah, I certainly feel that. I feel there's a certain responsibility I have. The pressure that I feel, I think, is not something that's been imposed on me as much as it is internal.
And as for Eric Holder's legacy, is there one thing that you kind of keep in mind about how you see this job all the time?
It's what I tell the people in this department all the time: do the right thing.